Luigi Mangione will be back in court Monday morning. The 27-year-old is accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson in the early morning hours on a Manhattan street nearly 1 year ago. That shooting set off a nationwide manhunt, culminating in an arrest at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, and sparking a national conversation about healthcare. Scripps News national correspondent Alex Miller live in New York City with a little bit more on this story for us today. So, Alex, this appearance is in state court on Monday. What are we expecting to happen there?
Well, Steph, this is the first time we will be seeing Luigi Mangione since September, when his terrorism charges in this state case were thrown out. And this is a hearing that could last multiple days because there are multiple things that prosecutors want to get taken care of, the most important being the evidence that will be admissible in trial. Luigi Mangione's attorneys want to see the backpack that was seized during that arrest and all of its contents in it thrown out. They say it was not properly obtained because police searched it without a warrant. Now, police say that they did it to make sure that they were safe. The Mangione team says that they continued to search that bag even after Mangione had already been arrested. Now, the contents of the bag are what is incredibly important here. There was a 3D printed gun and silencer, electronics, and a red notebook that prosecutors allege has writings in it that essentially amount to a confession. So not only does Mangione's team not want to see any of this admissible during the actual trial, they're also concerned about this notebook being read during the hearing next week because they don't want these writings to get out there. They say that it could prejudice a potential jury. So even though the trial, we still don't know what the date is for that, they're worried about the hearing because this hearing we could hear more explanation about this evidence. We could also hear from the arresting officers in this case and other people. They're presenting these arguments to the judge as to why they need this information. And so this backpack and the contents could be the center of the case. It's a really important moment here. There's also going to be discussions about Miranda warnings. The defense says he was not Mirandized when he was arrested, that they had blocked off the entire McDonald's so he couldn't leave if he wanted to. And so all of these things will be taken care of not only Monday, but as we go potentially throughout the week. That shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson on that street, really in an execution-style shooting, that happened on December 4th. So we could be in court on the 1-year anniversary of this shooting, Steph.
Now, of course, the state charges are not the only ones that Mangione is facing. He's also facing federal charges happening in the Manhattan federal courthouse. So where does that case stand?
Yes, Steph, he's facing 2 federal charges that could carry the death penalty. There was supposed to be a hearing next Friday on this. That was moved to January to essentially make room for all of the other discussion that needs to happen with this state case. But they're trying to get this, Mangione's team, rather, is trying to get that death penalty potential thrown out. This case probably won't happen for much longer. We are expecting the state case to go forward sometimes next year. The federal case could take years to see the inside of a courtroom. Obviously, that costs a lot of money. Should be very well noted, Mangione is still raising money for his defense team. I checked the website earlier this morning to see how much he's raised. He's raised over $1.3 million. People were donating to this fund on Thanksgiving, writing very supportive notes to him. Some people putting their first and last name or giving a first and last name. Some people anonymously donating, but showing their support for Mangione through all of this. And so I think, you know, this case, whether it's the state case or the federal case, there will continue to be interest in it as Mangione, as we talked about at the beginning, has really opened up this conversation where we're seeing people supporting him because of their feelings about health care.
Scripps News national correspondent Alex Miller will stay on top of both of those court proceedings as they move forward for arrest from New York City. Thank you very much, Alex.